Yes, beautiful morning it is on the Bumper Breakfast. I'm so glad to be here with you today. My name is Tomisio Joy and it's the Friday edition, so thank God is. I think I should wax a album, with a song called Thank God It's Friday.
Can I show you only your family members will buy it?
They won't even buy. I can tell you, even my family members will buy. They're so truthful. They'll be like, sis, that song was really terrible. Says, please don't sell it.
No, but one thing about music is the song everyone thinks will actually do well may not do well.
It will do
but
well.
The one they
if I sing the song,
well,
if I sing the song, it will do well because I just put it on Instagram, put some stupid video there, and do some
and then sponsor it, right?
And then sponsor it. No, even if you don't sponsor it, and then you now beg people like Marco Polo to help me post it. And then Marco Polo now
your market will not sell.
And I will now feature Marco Polo in the video. I'll make sure I delete you from the video. I'll feature Marco Polo and Brother Shaggy in the video.
Let me show you.
And shock you, I will sell.
Somebody tagged, something was trending on IG yesterday. It was on Instablog. Somebody tagged DJ Copy and said, music is not your career. Your career. And then she corrected the person and said, I agree, it's not my career, but it's my career. Thank you, brother. And it went viral. Good morning, our beautiful viewers this morning. Glad to have you guys.
So basically, you're saying my album won't sell. Good morning, Dr. Precious.
Good morning to you, Tommy.
So my album won't sell.
Let's be honest.
It's just going to be a single. One single. And I'm just going to be doing things like, I'll
share the link for free.
How was your week?
Because I can assure you, NSAS protesters will use it. My week has been amazing. I've had a beautiful week.
Oh, I can imagine. With the kind of laughter this morning that you're having fun at my expense.
Thank God it's Friday.
Really, you're having fun. Thank God it's Friday.
No, I told you, when you deal with me off camera, I'm going to bring you on the spot.
Oh, on camera. Okay. But what happened? You visited the Baba? They chased you there, or what happened?
No, this is the current trend. You just have to move with it.
Also, you went to the Baba and then decided to go a little bit away from the Bushman of last week and become a bit more polished.
It's always good to be in trend. So let's just say we're bringing things up to speed.
The rest of us do know that you are not in trend. You are just doing for the follow. But don't worry, we forgive you. We forgive you your trespasses. Go for ye therefore and sin no more.
Amen.
Anyway,
I receive it.
You receive? It's the Friday edition of the Bob, but we just come here, have fun with you, and hope that we can make you laugh in the midst of all of the what we call the troubles of the day, the troubles of our times, of this times. You get to find one reason, one singular reason. Just say, to miss it can be funny, sure, it's one reason to laugh. One reason to laugh. I hope we can make you laugh today and of course make your day much more beautiful. Of course, we know that on a beautiful day like this, we try to look for good news in the papers, and I'm keeping my fingers crossed that we're possibly going to find, because yesterday with Mr. Fatuke here, we practically searched, but I think Nigeria will make it through. I remember we coined in a new name yesterday.
Okay.
The popular country whose elections have remained conclusively inconclusive. You know the country I'm talking about, and that country, I think, supposed to be called United States
of America.
Okay, so but now I found the name yesterday. That's going to be United States of America.
Yeah, America. Our brother Donald has Americanized America.
No.
Did you get what I just said? He has
your brother is not our brother. It's not our brother. It's your brother.
Actually, some people call him Eze Donald. Eze Donald. I've always called him Donald Trumpet because of his ability to rush and give information.
Whether correct or otherwise.
We are
especially on Twitter.
Our hands are crossed. We're waiting. He's the first American president I have seen that puts up things and deletes them. Like puts up, deletes them.
And then he shouts every time on Twitter, like he usually types in capital letters.
And one very exciting thing about him is those in his team will tell you, you mess up, the next thing you hear is, you are fired.
Oh, it was quite interesting the election week when people came back and started posting videos of pictures and carrying placards of "you're fired" in front of the White House. There were placards and they howled "you're fired" on it. And all that. In his popularly, in his lingua franca, there are some words that are very, very. They are very, very common with Donald Trump, like the words that are most popular in his vocabulary. You're fired is one of them.
And then he has that demonstration. Yeah, we're going to build a wall, a very high wall.
Oh my, I just laughed Donald Trump.
I've had so much of
It's made the United States,
become like one of the African countries, especially with the election.
No. He actually took them away. I don't even think he made them like an African country.
Okay.
Because that's derogatory in a way. But I think he just he took them away from the pedestal that the world used to put them, and just put them somewhere in the mud, so that people
less
can,
of the democracy.
so that when people are not talking about democracy, they can now say. When they make examples, they won't say, "Oh, like the United States." They'll be like, "No."
No, but Tommy, let me be honest with
it's
you.
until this saga is over.
But let me be honest with you. I know a lot of people are going to come for me on this, but behind somewhere in my heart, I would have really loved Mazi Donald Trump to win the election.
Mazi.
I would have wanted him to actually win.
I told you, I know he's your brother.
Of his values.
I get that. Really?
No, there are some value systems.
No, but hold on. You want to put in place.
Yeah.
Is the United States of America, is it a religious country?
It's supposed to be. It's God's own country. It's a religious country.
But it's called the free world. It's called the free world.
Let me, Tommy, I think if we argue this, we will not graduate.
I'm not saying we're arguing this. I'm just trying to make you tell me exactly which one. God's own country or the free world?
No, God's own country.
What do they call it? No. What do they call the president? Any president of the United States? How do they refer to them?
Okay, yeah, I get your point right now, but
so now, at the G8, so like they have all those G something.
Yes,
and
the summit.
All of the summit, and they go and they talk about the president, and even the presidents talk about themselves, and they say things like the leader of the free world.
True.
You get it now.
True.
So I think as you profess with your mouth, so you should strive to become. Now, there is nothing about religion. One of the reasons why we as a people have issues with the new colonialists in the name of Islamic jihadists. The reason why we have issues with their trend, and they've become jihadists in the first place, is the fact that they're trying to colonize the entire world of wherever they find themselves into what they believe is the correct version of their religion. Meanwhile, if you see the real Muslims, you see the real Islamic scholars. Somebody said to me yesterday, the son of a pastor said to me just yesterday, if I continue to watch the conduct of so person in this office, I'm talking about somebody in this office, said to me, I love one of your staff. If I continue to watch him, and if I live close to him, in fact, if I live with him, I am going to become a Muslim.
Wow.
He said, because his conduct is just phenomenal. His behavior is just exceptional. Beautiful. He is a good ambassador of the religion. And that, for him, for me, is a testimony of what even the Bible is saying about behavior, how you portray yourself. They keep saying we are the Bible that people read today.
Yeah,
so if they really cannot read you and see God in you, okay, and they can obviously see your faults, everybody has faults, but then they can obviously see your faults. Nothing you preach to them will work.
True.
So imagine that we all want to preach by our behavior, our conduct, and not by forcing it and stuffing it down people's throats. You will have a society where people would learn and admire and desire to do the right thing.
I agree.
Not because the laws are put in place, but because somebody has shown them there's a better way.
Yeah, very true.
But now you're stuffing it down the throat. You're like putting laws in place. You guys must not do this. Oh, we don't do this. So you put all those religious sentiments in place. Whether you like it or not, people are going to sin in private. Legalize it or otherwise. They were doing it before it was legal.
Sure.
They will do it after it becomes illegal. And coincidentally, they will go to other countries to go and do it. It doesn't change anything. I mean, what do you want to do? People like the United Kingdom sponsor churches. I mean, they have churches that they finance.
Very true.
And then you have things that are not acceptable in Nigeria, like being gay is popular there. It's not just popular, it's legal. People can get married.
True.
Really?
True.
And why are they not stuffing it down their throats and saying, we're a religious society, we'll sponsor churches here? It's not acceptable. But they allow you to do the right thing. It is not a job of you, the Muslims, the Christians, to find a way of showing them the better way that you believe is the better way without stuffing it down their throats. So when you now call it God's own country or you call it a free world, there are two contradictions as far as I'm concerned.
You have a very strong point there, really strong one.
You get my point?
I think we should put you on a debate to represent us at CNN.
All right, so I'm just going to take a look at the papers while somebody is trying as much as possible to just put me on the spot. Yes.
So that before the CNN is sanctioned, you could come in and do something.
Oh, really? Really? Really?
I didn't say anything.
No, that's how some people look for my trouble early in the morning. But let's take a look at the papers this morning. Sometimes we just have this discussion so that you get a well-rounded perspective about different issues. Let's take a look at the Guardian newspaper. Nigeria loses 2 trillion naira yearly to foreign shipping lines. Local ship owners debunk allegation they lack capacity. A seek change of trade terms. The master promises to reverse the trend. The Vice President Yemi Osinbajo presiding over the virtual National Economic Council meeting at the State House of Abuja yesterday is a picture story on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Of course, the federal government wants the CNN DJ Switch sanctioned for alleged fake news. That's why you're thinking I can defend them.
Now you
CNN,
get my point.
they are capable of defending themselves. What's my business?
Okay.
Renews the call for social media control, stop harassing NSAS protesters. PFN tells the federal government. Right group faults attack on CNN. All right. Okay. This is interesting. But of course, you can read the stories on the front page of the Guardian newspaper. Government moves to break ASU's ranks, may ratify new union in 4 weeks. PDP charges for the government to account for 31 trillion naira. SARS tortured me with pressing iron for not offering 500,000 bribe. Petitioners tell Ekiti panel. Gunmen attack Dixon's country home, kill 1 security aide. That's so sad. But I think we take security much more seriously when things like that come up. What do you have?
On the Nigerian Tribune this morning, yellow fever, 222 suspected cases so far. 76 deaths in Bauchi, Delta, and Enugu. That's from the Nigeria Center for Disease Control, NCDC. Children account for 11.3% of COVID-19 infections in Nigeria. That's from the UNICEF. Nigeria in bad shape, going bankrupt. PDP mocks Buhari for political scavenging. I don't know if you saw the report of the baby that was born and the lantern they used in bringing the baby out of the mother and delivering the baby fell on the newborn baby in Calabar. If you remember on Secret Diary, I said this a couple of days ago that there are hospitals that uses torchlights to actually take delivery of mothers.
While they cannot put on the generator.
Just few hours ago in Calabar, they were using a lantern to help a mother deliver her baby. The baby was delivered and then the giant lantern fell on the child. So as I speak with you, we have the footage right here. We're trying to raise funds to help them right now as I'm talking to you. My organization is at the top of it and the child is fighting for her life. Newborn baby with the kerosene and the lantern got burns from the face to the hands.
Why do you operate a hospital when you cannot make it's even good for you to even detain the mother and the child after making sure that you've given them a conducive environment.
One of the reports we got was that they could not afford a standard hospital, so they went to a local hospital.
The point
where
is,
they were using that.
Either a hospital, or local, or standard.
Thomason, that's where our Ministry of Health needs to come in. I really feel what we're talking about on the gas sector, I feel it should come into the medical sector. I think there should be an overhauling, like a total fumigation of our hospitals, both the mainstream hospitals and the maternity hospitals. I also think the government should make delivery substantial for people in local places. You can go to a local, like in Kenya, we actually have dispensaries where you can go to in a local community and deliver free of charge. And the government is taking care of all that.
When we talk about free health care, this is where I believe government should come in, like you just said.
Yeah.
And comes to the issue of not having enough primary health care centers. Now, the primary health care centers we're talking about, federal government owned? Really? No, the state government owned.
True.
You should be able to put one in every major community.
That's why I don't understand where the funds for health on a yearly basis
for the state goes to.
I don't know, because it breaks my heart. You see, people can lie about anything, but you can't lie about pregnancy. I tell people pregnancy is the identity card to show that the lady is no more a virgin. Are you with me? So if someone comes up and say, I want to deliver, you can see it. Take the delivery. Being pregnant is not a crime. We need to start putting our priorities right in our country. I'm so heartbroken. I went through the video. I had to trace it. It's sad, Thomas.
It's really so sad.
Moving on, suspended Ondo lawmaker barred from assembly complex despite court appeal. Gunmen attacks Dixon Biosa's home and kill policeman attached to him. Why food prices are on the rise. That's Vice President speaking there. The federal government, CNN trade words over Lekki shooting. That's an interesting one there. And there's a photo footage there. We'll deal with CNN on our own way. Lekki First Ward massacre without blood and bodies, federal government says. And that's all we have on the Nigerian Tribune.
All right, let me take a look at the Nation newspaper this morning. Post hashtag and SARS, 100 killed, 269 assets banned, says government. 6 soldiers, 37 policemen among dead. CNN stands by Lekki shooting report. PDP hits Umai for joining APC. He will be disappointed, but he now 99% APC, says the governor. We have picture story there of the Nigerian Army, the Chief Staff Officer, CSO 81 Division, Brigadier General John Edet, Western Fleet Commander, Navy Commodore A.O. Bankole, GOC 81 Division, General Godwin Umelo, and Deputy Commissioner of Police in charge of Operations Ali Mohammed during the commencement of Operation Crocodile Smile VI in Operation Crocodile Smile 6. In Lagos yesterday. You have all the pictures there, front page story of the Nation newspaper. All right, court orders arrest of Atiku San. NEC blames COVID-19. Hashtag NSAS for soaring food prices. Slashing import duty of vehicles will increase unemployment. And Senate accuses banks of aiding funds diversion. Government ASU talks raise hope of end of strike. Minister to beg union. Lagos orders enforcement of ban on Okada and tricycle. For Ondo lawmakers barred from assembly. I really, would like to look a little bit at this Okada riders ban here in Lagos. I know that was done February this year. And yes, it's been banned for some areas. They're no longer in operation. Unfortunately, the conduct of some of the Okada riders in recent times, even in places where they were operating illegally, has come off almost as a threat to many people. I mean, quite a lot of motorists, a lot of commuters have refused to use the Lagos-Abeokuta Expressway all the way down, in recent times because of, the issues with security there. And that, for me, is a no-no.
And
Is
you know,
about-
the deplorable condition of the roads sponsors those issues. So you
Very
can't
true.
even escape if
Very
anything is
true.
wrong because the road is bad. So let's move on. On the Punch newspaper this morning, Nigeria spends $500 million annually importing palm oil. Who would believe that? Palm oil is just behind my house in Delta State. You know, I humorously tell people when I graduated, I wanted to serve in an oil company, but even granite oil I did not see. Interesting, eh? Some bank MDs colliding to divert funds. Colluding and colliding, oh God. Salami submits Magu probe report summary to presidency. Again, Wike attacks Umahi as APC welcomes government, experts and others. APC and PDP fight over 6 kidnapped. Policemen in security defections. Buhari abandoned official duty for personal political adventure, says PDP. Now, on the footnote there, police vows to clamp down on Ogun unregistered tinted vehicle errant drivers. Bajamia Biamila doles out cash security aid as one was killed. Ondo workers issued 8 days ultimatum over unpaid allowance. And up there we also have the ex-NBA president, the Eze Kome, clash with Shitu over Mago. And finally, crude in commercial quantity discovered in Benue State.
Wow.
And that's from NNPC. And that's all on the Nigerian Punch.
In Benue State, crude. We're still searching for crude.
If you understand how crude oil is formed and how it takes time before it gets formed, you will understand, you will realize that in a time to come, there will be crude oil everywhere. You know the formation, the process?
How am I supposed to know the formation?
If you want me to tell you, you have to subscribe to my YouTube channel, Mega Precious TV, and I'll tell you.
Anyway, we ignore this young man and we take a quick commercial break. When we return, Kenny Adiaga joins us on the show this morning talking business.
The holidays, some drama, a smoky start, exciting moments. Of course, everyone is invited. Oh, festive season, what a time for the family. Turn up the way you want. Oops. All fun. And don't worry, the little surprises will make your day.
It's a special season for everyone, so whenever you're festive, it's your moment with DSTV. And this holiday season is about to be lit.
The weekend is so special, especially Saturdays.
While some are preparing to go for Owambes,
Gelemida, Filatieda.
some just want to sit back and relax.
Pass me the remote, Jory.
That's why we have the Saturday Morning Show. Saturday Morning Show.
A program that talks about health,
Lifestyle,
good music,
education.
and topical issues.
It also features top celebrities in the country.
Tune in every Saturday,
7 a.m. to 8 a.m.
Saturday morning show, starting your weekend on a lighter mood.
Very well, thank you. Yes, welcome back. It's still the bumper breakfast. Kenny Adiaga joins us this morning with the reports from the Nigerian stock market. Good morning, Kenny.
Good morning, Tomisi. How are you today?
Very well, thank you. Very well. What do you have for me this morning?
The market may be down, but hope is not lost. And of course, the Nigerian Stock Exchange will be having its AGM to get out of the demutualization. You recall that the market will now be listed as a corporate organization that its shares can be traded upon on the floor of the Nigerian Stock Exchange. And of course, that is what most investors have been waiting for, because they know that with an organization that warehouses all the stocks that are listed on that floor, for that company to be listed also on that floor means that there will be more yield to their investment when they start investing in it. Also, here there is an interview with one of the non-governmental organizations fighting for the human rights, especially for the male and female gender, where they are assaulted or harassed, and they see to the logical conclusion that they are well protected and get justice. I'm talking about the Women Rights and Health Project, a non-governmental organization that has been organizing a town hall meeting with stakeholders and participants in various communities in Lagos and other parts of the country to ensure that anyone that is being molested or harassed as a result of rape or as a result of any kind of assault gets justice. In a short while after the report, we'll have the interview with the representative of this organization talking about the challenges and why some people, when they are harassed, are not willing to come out to talk or speak out for them to get justice. Participants also talked about why this is not so, because they feel that they are stigmatized when they come out to talk, or either being harassed by some kind of death threats, which these organizations have said once they get the report, they will see to the logical conclusion that whoever is harassed or molested will get justice. Before we go into that interview, let's quickly look at what the figures are saying in the marketplace. Investors yesterday traded 364.92 million shares valued at 3.5 billion naira, exchanged in 6,340 deals. Top trades in the market yesterday were that of Transcorp International PLC, Access Bank PLC, United Bank for Africa PLC, and FBN Holdings PLC. For Transcorp, investors exchanged 50.73 million shares worth 53.92 million naira, exchanged in 245 deals at a market closing price of 1 naira 5 kobo per share. FBN Holdings PLC with 38.55 million shares traded worth 292.38 million naira, done in 386 deals at a market closing price of 7 naira 65 kobo per share. Access Bank with 25.89 million shares traded worth 227.16 million naira, done in 310 deals at a market closing price of 8 naira 70 kobo per share. While United Bank for Africa PLC with 24.78 million shares traded, valued at 214.22 million naira, done in 295 deals at a market closing price of 8 naira 45 kobo per share. And of course, the lowest trade stock yesterday was that of Better Glass PLC with 40 units done in transactions at a market closing price of 55 naira 40 kobo per share. The gainers was led by BOC Gases PLC with a price gain of 61 kobo to close at 6 naira 77 kobo. Ethanol oil went up by 43 kobo, closing at 4 naira 78 kobo. Red Star Express PLC with 32 kobo gain, closing at 3 naira 59 kobo. And May and Baker PLC went up by 31 kobo to close at 3 naira 49 kobo. From the losers table, we have Presco PLC topping the table with a price depreciation of 7 naira 95 kobo to close at 71 naira 80 kobo. Stanbic IBTC PLC lost 1 naira 85 kobo, closing at 43 naira. GT Bank was down by 1 naira 20 kobo to close at 35 naira 80 kobo. And Dangote Sugar PLC lost 1 naira 5 kobo, closing at 21 naira 20 kobo. All these can be attributable to the depreciation that was recorded in the market capitalization. This is as a result of highly capitalized stock depreciating in price. And so the market capitalization yesterday stood at 18.102 trillion naira as against the previous cap figure of 18.193 trillion naira. And the all-share index equally went down from 34,818.01 basis points the previous day to 34,643.65 basis points yesterday, the depreciation of 174.36 basis points. And of course, the Nigerian Deposit Insurance Corporation have continually, and the Central Bank of Nigeria have continually to say that there is no cause for alarm in the financial sector or in the economy, as no financial, the financial industry is not going to experience any kind of systemic risk or under any systemic threat, according to the regulators when they had a workshop with the Finance Correspondent Association of Nigeria and the Business Editors in Kaduna. And of course, so many papers were presented at that workshop. Like I said, we'll be reviewing some of these papers to see what is the stand of our economy or the regulators and what they are doing as to curb the fraud that may likely come up as a result of fintech that has been introduced into the financial system. We will also be seeing Dr. Olisa Agbakoba talking to the Finance Correspondent Association of Nigeria this morning, and he'll be talking about the 2021 budget and the Nigerian economy. Of course, he did say that this is the best time to talk about it and know where we are. After this session, we will know what the lawyer, a senior advocate of Nigeria, knows or talk about the economy and what is expected. But for now, let's quickly hear Neil talking about the Human Rights and Health Protection Agency, which they had a workshop or a town hall meeting yesterday to sensitize and educate the public on how they can get justice when harassed. Let's hear it.
My name is Norma Izuma. I'm the Center Assistant at Ireti Resource Center, an initiative of Women's Rights and Health Project GRAP.
Could you tell us what is the essence of this gathering, this town hall meeting? I know I've attended this is the second time, and I want to know why are you organizing it and how often do you organize such program?
Okay, our programs are organized as often as we get funding for these programs. Now, we've been funded by the EU, RONAC, and British Council to fund these town hall meetings. We had the initial one, which you attended, and then we're having this one, and then we have another town hall meetings. But besides, it's not just the town hall meetings. We've been working since January within Alimosho local government on the project Increasing Access to Justice Social Services for Survivors of Sexual and Gender-Based Violence. Now, the project is geared towards providing support, empowering and equipping members of the community to demand action from our law and to provide support for victims of sexual and gender-based violence to access the justice services available to them. Now, during our initial meetings, the members of community indicated to us that they did not know, whom to report to or what to do when faced with such challenges. So that is why we said, okay, let us work with them. Let us tell them that, if this happens to you, these are the things you should do, these are the steps you should take to attain justice. And that's why we've been here.
Since this program was initiated and we started, has there been any cases that you have taken, and how logical have you gone into such cases?
Oh yes, we had the case of Favor Sunday, which is a very, everybody has heard of. Well, it's the news is out there. Favour Sunday is a case that came to us. The parents reported the case of the 11-year-old girl who was raped to death, whom we are still working to ensure that the family attains justice. Now, we worked with the police commissioner. We came with him to visit the family, and we've been working with the police to attain justice for Favour's family. But that is a high-profile case. Now, coming down to even simpler, no, not simpler, but coming down to less high-profile cases, we have achieved great success with members of the community. We have identified perpetrators of rape and different forms of gender-based violence, and we have helped members of the community attain what to them is justice, because justice, of course, is from the frame of reference of each individual. Each individual has their frame of reference for what justice is. So through that individual's frame of reference, we have tried to make sure that justice is achieved.
What are the challenges you face in the course of trying to get justice for any affected or any victim of rape or assault?
The challenges we face most times is that people are afraid to speak up. Even when this is an obvious open case, the victims are sometimes afraid to speak up for fear of stigmatization or reprisal, attacks, for fear of shame. So victims most times, or survivors are afraid to speak up. And that is why we're at these town hall meetings.
Okay.
Even families, from fear of shame, are afraid to call out other members of family to say this person raped this person, or this my child has been raped. And that is why we're here, empowering members of the community in these town hall meetings, working with them to let them know that, see, it is not the survivor's fault, and that when you arrest one perpetrator, you have arrested 10 perpetrators, because that one arrest will serve as deterrence to the rest of the community. So we are working with them steadily. That is why we have these town hall meetings, to ensure that they see, you do not need to be afraid. Do not be afraid. You can speak up. We can work with you to attain justice. We can make sure that, justice is served, and that the perpetrator is brought to book, and that we have a safer society. And that is what we've been doing.
Okay. In one of your statements that I read, you talked about training the police, training the law enforcement agents, and other concerned persons. How have you gone with this, and what are the achievements, or what would you say has been something that you can say, yes, you are in the right track?
Okay, so our executive director, Mrs. Bosa Eronsi, had this idea that we should not just train members of the community, we should also train the law enforcement agencies, so that if the members of the community are complaining that the police, when they go to the police, they face maybe some form of harassment, the police will know that, okay, these are the fears of the members of the community. And so, working with the police, we've trained both senior police officers and junior police officers to let them know, okay, these are the challenges members of the community have in attaining justice or even accessing the services of the police force. And then the police have been quite responsive. And some of the results we have seen is that members of the community have reported that when they go to the police station, at least when they go to the police station, they know who to report their specific cases to, as opposed to going into the police and just taking a case of rape to maybe the criminal or to crime lab or to crime department. They know that cases of rape should be handled by the FSU, JPWC, and Human Rights Desk. So those are some of the successes we've achieved.
Okay.
The voice of Neoma. And of course, she did talk about the funding aspect, which she said that the EU Council, through the British Council, have been supportive in this direction. And of course, they are looking at the federal government also supporting and assisting this organization in order to curb all these menace in the society. And this, she said, will make Nigerian society and the people living in Nigeria to be more advanced to what is happening within and around them. And this can also protect the life of those who may have been assaulted or may have been may have been assaulted or may have been threatened by anybody. Yes, after this, we hope that the organizers or the women rights women rights and health protection agency will come to speak live to let the Nigerian public know what all is all this about, where Nigerians can get justice, especially the female and of course the male also, that can get justice when they are molested or harassed. After now, we'll be hearing from Dr. Olisa Bakova, who will be speaking with the Finance Correspondent Association of Nigeria on the Nigerian economy, that is the economy and the budget 2021.
All right, Kenny, we need to go.
Practical solutions to scale Nigeria recession is what we need right now.
All right.
Over to you, Chobisi.
Many thanks, Kenny. We'll see you again on Monday morning. Yes, we're back here. It's still the bumper breakfast, but you know on the bumper breakfast, it's bumper. So we have quite a number of things that we share with you every day on the bumper breakfast. Typically on a Friday, we usually prepare you looking back at your week and then preparing you for the new week. And joining me on the table this morning, of course, joining us is Somi Uranta, who is a motivational speaker and author of a book called Contradictions. Hello.
Good morning.
Somi, good morning.
Good morning.
Apparently you were out of town last week.
Sure, I was.
Oh, we did miss you.
We really did miss you.
I'm sorry. Miss you.
Well, I have always wanted to ask, is Contradictions on Amazon's? Like, where can we get it from?
Yeah, it's on Amazon. It's on Jumia and all that.
Okay, good.
Yeah, and
so basically, people can actually buy the book. So for those who have been wondering, you can actually do buy the book. But we're not just here for the book. We're here for the content. Yeah, we're here for the content.
In fact, the book is nothing without the content.
Yeah.
Today, I want to look at the habit of going the extra mile. You know, the universe do not or have not asked us to do extraordinary things. All she asks is for man to do ordinary things extraordinarily well. We don't have to, spill our blood to get things done. Just normal things. Put in something extra.
No more everyday things.
Everyday things. That is what we need. You see, in every organization, there are 4 main bones in every organization. You have the wishbone, people who wish that things will get done. And oftentimes, things never get done, except someone else is going to do it. After the wishbone, you have the jawbone. They go about talking about things, what things should be like, how is it going to be. So person should do it, or that person should do it, and nobody's doing it. When you leave those people, you get to the knuckle bone. They go about knocking everything down and doing nothing else, just knocking things down. But there is another group, the 4th group. These guys are the ones they are the backbones. They are the ones that bear the beast of burden of the organization. Recall the last time I was around, I talked about the 20% of people or actions that will give 80% result.
Yes.
These backbones are the ones that what they bring to the table takes care of 80% of the returns to the organization.
Wow.
So, those are the people who have to look out for in every setting, even in our own individual life. You know, when someone goes the extra mile, you get the advantage of the law of reciprocity.
Sure.
As you are doing it, you are doing, the other person too will have to reciprocate.
Comes
As you're
back.
giving the service to your customer, you're going beyond your call of duty to give him something extra beyond what has been paid for.
Yes.
You are owning your freedom. You are also putting him in debt. And in fact, you're also putting the universe in debt. That they have to reciprocate the same thing back to you. Apart from that, you also benefit from the law of contrast. Because not everybody does their things very well. Some people paint dollar signs on their forehead. What they want is the cash they will get immediately from that action. So they give you service to the extent they feel that you have paid for. And the moment you look at it from that angle, I mean, you are missing it. So the man who goes the extra mile to add that little extra makes him stand out because others are not bothered about that. So when he takes that step forward to do something little extra, it places him at a vantage and vintage point above his peers. You know, above all, it gives you the opportunity to make yourself indispensable in an organization where you are. If you are known to go beyond your call of duty, you will be needed. If they say people...
A lot of times.
Every time. If they say there's no job, they want to downsize, you'll be among the ones that will remain.
Because you're more useful.
Value. Yes, value. You bring value to the table. You bring excellent service. You bring sacrifice to the table.
You go the extra mile.
Extra mile. So developing that habit is what everybody needs. Even when you're going the extra mile, you know, as an employee, if your employer do not recognize you, somehow the universe will, will work out things in such a way that, because the war in life, nobody can be cheated. Every action put in must give you a result that is proportionate to the effort put in. So there is no two ways about it. So we must learn to go to the point of giving something extra every time we are rendering a service to someone, if we want those people to be committed perpetually to us.
But what about in cases where, you've done the extra and extra and extra, and there seems not to be appreciation? A lot of people just say, hey, they've not been appreciating me, I've done all the extra, I've even gone the extra mile, and they've just not appreciated me. Should I continue?
You should continue. The truth of the matter is that you should not be expecting your returns from the very person, the very channel. There are several channels.
So you know why I love your mind? At times when you speak, it resonates with what is in my mind. I wanted to say to her, you may not reap where you sow, but you will reap what you sow. It's a law of nature. You may not reap from that place where you sow,
and that law
but you will
is
definitely
immutable.
reap what you sow. That's why it's good to do good, regardless of where you are. You on track, sir?
Sure. So it is the fact that when you have done a service, when you have sown a seed, that seed must germinate. If the seed is delayed, it goes into the realm of compound interest. If you are supposed to get, 2, 3, 4, it becomes, in multiplication format.
Yes.
So it becomes compounded interest. So there is nobody can cheat anybody in life. It's just that we look at life, it's okay because we believe in time and space. We live in time and space. The dimensions of time and space make us feel that if I don't get this in now, I will die tomorrow. But we're still here. So we should learn to go the extra mile in anything we do, not minding whether we are paid for the extra thing or not. Because if you are not paid, nature will pay you back. Now it is better for nature to pay you back. It is better for the universe to pay you back than for you to not do anything at all. And when you put God and nature in your debt, if God is indebted to you, won't he pay you?
He will.
He sure will. He always do. Even when we don't owe him, even when he doesn't owe us anything.
But in cases where you've done the extra mile for a while, when exactly do you move on to another place?
It's a progressive endeavor. It is a never-ending situation. Anywhere you find yourself, in anything you're doing, let it be a habit. When the habit is formed, you see it resonate in everything you do. Because it is a winning formula. You have to keep doing it. Because when the pay will come, you will be amazed. Others who are watching you, they say, this is, they say it's luck. The luck oftentimes is when opportunity meets preparation.
Yes.
When you're prepared, you know. Sometimes it might take a situation whereby somebody say, look, that sometimes God wants us to move from one place to another. He will show us the light and we fail to see the light. He will bring the heat. So if the light could not make us move from one position to another, the heat might help us. So everything in life is actually made for our own good. It's just that we, because of our understanding, because of our human nature, the human frailties and foibleness, we now begin to say it must be this. See, when a situation occurs, anything will call that situation, that is what it will be.
Sure.
Remember, Adam named everything God created. Whatever name Adam gave in that most elaborate and long-lasting naming ceremony Adam conducted at the Garden of Eden, any name he gave to any creation, the name stuck. So it is man that will proclaim, so this is good, this is bad. Remember, Shakespeare said, there is nothing either good or bad, except I think he made it so.
True.
So if we think the situation is good, it will be good. If we think it's bad, it will be bad. It's our mind that keep, giving life, breathing, the consciousness into the situation. It is. Everything nature does is neutral. It is man that, just like when a child is born, is born in a state, the mind of a child is said to be in a state of tabula rasa, a state of like an empty slate. It is the society that begin to imprint stuff on that mind.
On that mind.
So things happening to us comes neutral. That is why sometimes you say something is bad. Later you say, oh, another time and place, you say, oh, this thing is good though, I mistook it for a bad thing. So whatever we call the situation, that's what it is. But I can tell you anytime, any day, that developing the habit of going the extra mile will never fail you.
Very beneficial conversation with Somi Huranta this morning. Thank you so much, Somi, for joining us.
My pleasure.
Again
always.
On the Bumper Breakfast. I always like the lessons because, we're taking lessons from the school of life. And whether you like it or not, life itself is a lesson. It's a bundle of lessons. But when we come and we give you those lessons, it's because we want you to take something extra out of the show. At the beginning, I said to you, you need to laugh. We're here to make you laugh and forget all of the worries and, the issues of our time. And then somewhere in the middle, we give you perspectives to different issues so that you can think a little bit deeper about issues and not just look at it from the surface. And then we'll move you to the level of giving you lessons that can resonate with you as you go through your day and then as you go through your week and begin to prep for a new week. So it's always important that while you're coming with us on the journey of the Bumper Breakfast every day, sometimes I even take a pen and a paper. You keep wondering, I keep writing things down as it resonates with me. I have to quickly type something down and put it down there so it doesn't, if peradventure I forget, I can refer back to it in my tab and say, oh, this was what I wrote. And so it's all about the lessons. And so thank you so much.
Thank you too.
For being a useful tool.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, for being a useful tool. We'll take another break now. You see, this time around, we're talking about things that every 25-year-old must know. Things that every 25-year-old must know, which means if you are around that age, these things we'll mention are things you must know and you must remember. We'll be back shortly.